Welcome to Norway Perspectives, the video series where we give you the honest, in-depth information you need to build a secure and successful life in Norway, legally, practically, and for the long term. Today's topic is one of the most critical, but also one of the most dangerously overlooked aspects of settling into Norwegian society. It's a silent infrastructure that underpins everything you do here. It's not just about getting your visa, paying your taxes, or seeing a doctor. It's about the invisible architecture that connects them all. It's a system that, if you misunderstand it, can quietly create serious trouble in every area of your life, from your finances to your immigration status. That topic is Norway's digital ecosystem, and more specifically, the profound consequences that arise if you don't understand how the country's public and private digital infrastructure works. If you're new to Norway, or even if you've been here for a while but still feel a sense of uncertainty or anxiety when you hear terms like Digipost, Altinn, Helsenorge, Bank ID, or e-Boks, this episode is essential listening. Because Norway is not just a digital country, it is one of the most deeply and comprehensively digitally integrated societies on Earth. It operates on the fundamental expectation that every single resident will log in, read, respond, and actively manage their own life through a suite of digital portals. And when you don't, either because you weren't aware, you were overwhelmed, or you didn't understand, the consequences aren't always immediate. But they are almost always serious. So in this episode, we are going to pull back the curtain and give you the map you were never handed at the border. We will explain why these digital platforms are absolutely not optional in Norway, what each core system is for, how they interact, and what kind of critical information flows through them. What goes wrong when newcomers avoid or misunderstand them, with concrete, real-life examples of the financial and legal fallout. How people miss life-altering deadlines, lose significant amounts of money, or even jeopardize their residency status simply by not opening a digital message. And finally, how you can avoid these pitfalls and achieve true digital independence in Norway, even if you're still in the early stages of learning the language. Let's begin with the foundational truth you must internalize from day one. In Norway, digital independence is expected, not optional. From the moment you receive a national identity number, fødselsnummer, or even a temporary D number, the Norwegian state sees you as an active, responsible node in its digital network. This isn't a suggestion, it's the default operational model, and that means you are legally expected to manage your own communication with all government agencies, from the tax office to the immigration authorities. You are expected to receive, manage, and pay all your bills, taxes, and public fees digitally. You are legally considered to have received any and all official messages sent to your designated digital post box, and you are expected to understand and act on the information and deadlines in those messages, without follow-up calls or paper reminders. Think about how things work in many other countries. You might go to a local government office, stand in line, speak to a clerk, and get a stamped paper document. You might receive important letters by certified mail. You might call an agency to ask for a status update. In Norway, this is largely a thing of the past. Norwegians don't do that. They log in, they read the message, they upload the required PDF, they sign the contract with their digital ID, and they do it on time. The systems are robust, efficient, and secure, but they are also impersonal. They do not explain themselves to newcomers, and their automated processes do not forgive delays caused by misunderstanding or avoidance. Let's now break down the core systems every single resident in Norway must know and use. Digipost and e-Boks, your official, legally binding digital mailbox. When you officially register as a resident in Norway with the National Population Register, Folkeregisteret, you are strongly encouraged and practically required to choose a digital post box. The two main providers are Digipost, run by the Norwegian Postal Service, Altinn, and e-Boks, a private competitor. Most residents use Digipost. Let's be perfectly clear, this is not an email account. It is not a secondary, paperless option. It is a secure, government-approved digital mailbox that, once activated, becomes the primary and sole channel for critical official communications. It is not a backup. It is not a trial. It is your new front door. This is where Skatteetaten, the Norwegian Tax Administration, sends your annual tax assessment, skattemelding, your final tax settlement, skatteoppgjør, and any demands for back taxes. NAV, the Norwegian Labour and Welfare Administration, sends official decisions, vedtak, about unemployment benefits, parental leave, or sickness benefits. Your commune, municipality, sends letters about your child's school or kindergarten placement, property tax notices, and other vital public service announcements. UDI, the Directorate of Immigration, and the police may send updates or requests for more information regarding your residency application. Public healthcare services, Helsenorge, send hospital referral letters, appointment confirmations, and important health-related information. Even private companies like banks and insurance providers are increasingly using it to send contracts and legally binding notices. If you don't check your Digipost at least once a week, or if you set it up and then forget how to log in, you will miss essential, time-sensitive documents. And here is the most critical point of all, a legal fact that trips up thousands of newcomers. Once a letter is sent to your Digipost, the government has fulfilled its legal obligation to inform you. You are considered to have received it. If you don't read it, you are still 100% responsible for its contents. I didn't see the message is not a valid excuse and will not save you from a missed deadline or a penalty. Altinn, your financial and administrative cockpit. Next, we have Altinn. Think of Altinn as your secure portal for all interactions with the financial and regulatory side of the Norwegian state, primarily the tax authorities, skatteetaten. This is the digital space where you receive and review your pre-filled annual tax return, skattemelding. Submit any changes, corrections, or deductions before the deadline. View your official income, tax, and employment history as reported by your employers. Register a sole proprietorship, enkeltpersonforetak, or manage reporting for a small business. Apply for certain state compensation schemes or benefits. Receive official notices, payment demands, krav, or penalties, tilleggsskatt, directly from the taxman. Altinn is directly and securely linked to your bank ID. When your tax return becomes available in the spring, usually around March or April, you will not get a big packet in the mail. You might get a simple notification in Digipost telling you that a new message is waiting in Altinn, but the state expects you to know this is happening and to log in proactively. If you fail to do so, and you miss the deadline, usually April 30th, to review and submit your tax return, the system will simply assume all the pre-filled information is correct and finalize it for you. If it turns out it wasn't correct and you actually owe more tax, you will receive a bill for the outstanding amount, plus a fine for the late payment. Helsenorge, your personal public healthcare portal. Helsenorge.no is the national digital portal for your health journey in Norway. It is your single point of access to the public healthcare system. Through Helsenorge, you can find and change your assigned general practitioner, fastlege, book, view, and cancel your medical appointments online. View your lab results, radiological reports, and other test results. Receive and respond to referrals to specialists or hospitals. Manage your children's vaccination schedules and health records. Send secure, non-urgent messages to your doctor's office. Access your full medical journal and prescription history, Receptor. If you are not actively using Helsenorge, you will almost certainly miss a notification that your doctor has moved your appointment, an alert that it's time for your child's next vaccine, a letter containing a diagnosis or a critical follow-up instruction from a specialist. Hospitals, GPs, and specialists have largely stopped sending paper letters. They use Helsenorge. If you miss an appointment because you never saw the notification, you will likely be charged a no-show fee, gebyr for ikkemet, which can be anywhere from 400 to over 1,000 kroner. ID-porten and BankID, the master keys to the kingdom. Everything we've just discussed, accessing your legal mail, your taxes, and your health records, requires an exceptionally high level of secure login. That's where ID-porten and BankID come in. BankID is your personal, legally binding digital identity in Norway. It is more powerful and more trusted than a handwritten signature. It is issued by Norwegian banks and serves as the master key to almost every important digital service. You use it to log into your online bank, access Digipost, Altinn, and Helsenorge through the central login gateway, ID-porten. Sign legal documents like rental contracts or loan agreements. File official applications with the government. Approve any significant financial transaction. Without bank ID, you are effectively locked out of modern Norwegian life. You are digitally disenfranchised. Many newcomers delay applying for bank ID because the process can seem complicated or because they are waiting for their permanent national ID number. But this delay is a trap, causing immense problems as unread digital obligations pile up. What goes wrong? Real-life scenarios. Let's move from the theoretical to the practical. These are not made-up stories. They are sanitized versions of real events that happen every single day. Meet Anna, a skilled worker from Brazil. She's waiting for Nav to approve her application for parental benefits. Nav sends a message to her Digipost requesting a final, crucial document. Overwhelmed with her new job and a newborn, she doesn't check her Digipost for 3 weeks. When she finally logs in, she sees the message, and a second message, sent a week later, stating that because she failed to respond by the deadline, her case has been closed. She now has to reapply from scratch and wait another 4 to 6 months for a decision, putting her family under severe financial strain. Consider the Chen family. They are thrilled to be starting a new life in Bergen. They received their daughter's school placement letter in their e-Boks account, which they haven't learned to use yet. They assume a paper letter will follow. It never does. They miss the 2-week deadline to confirm the spot. The municipality gives the spot to the next child on the waiting list, and their daughter is assigned to a different school across town, one they didn't choose, and that complicates their daily logistics immensely. Think of David, a freelance consultant from the UK. He registers his business. A message is sent to his Altinn account with instructions for his first quarterly VAT payment. He doesn't see it. The bill goes unpaid. After 30 days, the debt is automatically transferred to the State Agency for Recovery of Fines, Debts and Damages, Statens Innkreving Central. The original debt is now accompanied by a penalty fee of over 1,300 kroner, and it has been registered as a negative mark against his name. And then there is Sophia. She goes to her GP for some tests. A week later, a message appears in her Helsenorge portal containing a result that requires an urgent follow-up appointment. The message is in Norwegian. She sees the notification on her phone but feels intimidated and plans to ask a colleague to help her translate it later. She forgets. Her serious condition goes untreated for 3 months, leading to complications that could have been easily avoided. None of these people were negligent or irresponsible. They were simply unaware of the unforgiving nature of the system they were in. Norway's digital systems do not ask why you missed a message. They only register that you did. Language, the final barrier and point of failure. Even when people successfully log in, they face the next great hurdle, the language. Official communications from Skatteetaten, Nav, or the commune are written in formal, bureaucratic Norwegian, kanselistil. Even native Norwegians sometimes need to read these documents twice. For a newcomer, the language can be paralyzing. You are confronted with a wall of text containing words like vedtak, an official, legally binding decision. Purring, a payment reminder, usually with a new fee attached. Klagefrist, the strict deadline by which you must appeal a decision. Egenandel, your copay or deductible for a service. Inntektsåret, the specific income year being discussed. Forskuddstrekk, the preliminary tax deducted from your salary. Faced with this, many people freeze. They wait, hoping the problem will resolve itself. They ignore it, hoping it's not important. Or they use an online translator that misses the crucial legal nuance, leading them to click the wrong button. And then the deadline passes. The fine is issued. The appeal window closes. The opportunity is lost forever. This isn't a rare occurrence. It is a silent, chronic struggle for thousands of people who are physically living in Norway, but are functionally disconnected from the systems that govern their lives. So, what does digital independence actually look like? It's not about becoming a technology expert. It's about achieving a state of confidence and autonomy. It means checking your Digipost with the same regularity you check your email, once or twice a week. Proactively logging into Altinn during tax season without needing a reminder. Confidently using Helsenorge to manage your family's healthcare appointments. understanding that your bank ID is a powerful tool and using it to sign documents and approve payments securely. Most importantly, it means reading and understanding deadlines and acting on them with time to spare. It's the shift from a feeling of fear and dependence, I have to ask my Norwegian colleague to help me with every letter, to a feeling of empowerment. Okay, I see this is a notice from the municipality with a deadline in 2 weeks. I know what I need to do. If you don't achieve this, your life will still function on the surface for a while. But behind the scenes, a backlog of digital debt and missed obligations will build. And one day, it will catch up with you in the form of a debt collection notice, incasso, a rejected application, or a broken link with your child's school, your doctor, or your municipality. What can you do to avoid this? The path forward is clear. You must prioritize learning these systems and the specific language used within them. You must stop avoiding and start exploring. Open the portals, click around. Get help early before a real problem arises. Ask questions before you miss something important. Because in Norway, the systems will not come looking for you. They are waiting patiently and silently for you to log in. If this sounds overwhelming, like trying to drink from a fire hose, you are not alone. And you don't have to navigate it by yourself. Thousands of newcomers in Norway are struggling to bridge this digital divide. They've done the hard work of getting a visa, finding a job, and opening a bank account. But they remain disconnected from the public infrastructure that runs quietly in the background until a crisis makes it impossible to ignore. And that's where targeted help makes all the difference. At Norway Relocation Group, we specialize in guiding newcomers through this digital labyrinth. We help you set up and manage your essential systems, from getting your bank ID to mastering Digipost, from navigating Helsenorge to understanding Altinn. We don't just show you the portals. We walk with you through real-life tasks until they become second nature. And at our sister company, NLS Norwegian Language School, we teach you how to read and understand real-life Norwegian, the practical, functional language you'll find in letters from NAV, tax forms, rental contracts, and official government messages. We move beyond textbook vocabulary to teach the language of integration, participation, and true independence. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Norway Perspectives. We hope this has illuminated the path forward for you. If this information was helpful to you or could be for someone you care about, please like, subscribe, and share it. Your share could save a fellow newcomer a world of trouble. We'll see you in the next episode.